Hello and welcome to my double review of the HG Ball Duo and MG Ball Vercar. So we're going to look at both and see the difference between a HG and an MG. Player 1 is HG Ball Duo and player 2 is MG Ball Vercar. Fight! So we'll look at the high grade ball twin set first. This is quite a nice little high grade. It's a really simple build. What we're going to do is going to have a quick look at what's in the boxes, a very quick run through the builds, a bit of a demo of each of the kits, and then we'll do some comparisons and some stats at the end, as well as the final review, final scores. So looking at this box, really simple instructions. This is one of the easiest high grade kits you could probably buy. It isn't a full Gundam, it is just a ball set, and the balls are much smaller models. Here you can see I'm doing my typical panel line on the sprue. It does save a lot of time, I recommend it. Also makes it easier to clean. And here I'm just assembling all the parts, putting them all together. Like I said, this is a really nice simple build. If you wanted a first kit, I know I had that high grade Delanza, looking for a kit that you'd recommend to beginners. This is definitely a kit I'd recommend to beginners. It is a little bit on the simple side, and it's not a full size Gundam. These are the ball kits. They are smaller, but they look great and they're really easy to put together. There's no real complex parts in this model, so a nice kit for beginners. Here I'm just putting together the arms. There's 4 of them. They're not superposable. They've got a pivot on the elbow and a pivot at the little claws, but besides that there's no real rotation or movement besides that. They could have used ball joints, which would have been better. And those ball joints that go into the arm sockets there don't really do much. Just making a start on the weapons. You get 2 of these large cannons, and you also get 2 of the double guns. Here you can see I've done a bit of Gundam marker on the lenses rather than stickers, because you get no stickers in this set. And you do get these lovely little stands as well, and I think they look pretty good. Overall, it's a really nice simple build. The panel lining went on really well. The panel lines are pretty good. They didn't need too much additional work. And overall, I think it's come out pretty well. I like these little high grade kits. I think they're a nice little cleanser between master grades or anything bigger. So now it's time to move on to the MG Ball Vercar. This is obviously a bigger kit. This is the master grade, so this is the 1/100 version. Here you can see my old man hobby knife. It's a new hobby knife I got. It's got a triangular shape, so easier to hold. It's really nice actually. Got it for like 5-6 quid off Amazon. So just unboxing the kit, taking a look at the instructions. This has got really nice artwork in there. Loads of bits about the ball, but there's some fantastic artwork in these instructions. Just taking a look at some of the parts that come with it. Weirdly, there is some vulcanized rubber as a sprue, a rubber sprue. Have you ever seen that before? That's weird. And this plastic bag has some metal rods and wire effects, which are really nice. And then there's some dry decals and some stickers. Some of these dry decals are okay, but the others not so much. Here I'm just doing my typical panel lining. I always recommend panel lining on the sprue. I think it's way easier. Super easier to clean as well. And as long as you're careful with what type of plastic you panel line, for instance, don't panel line your polycaps or any of the softer plastics, you should be fine. So just assembling it, this is incredible. The parts on the inner frame look great. I'm not sure I'm going to do it justice in this video, and this is a kit that is screaming out for some kit bashing and a bit of customization. Just the details on that inner frame for the ball, I think those could be picked out really nicely with some dry brushing even, and some Gundam markers. This has a lot more detail obviously than the high grade balls, and you'll see that there's a pilot there that you can see. There's a tiny little sort of computer system that plugs in front of them. That was really fiddly to put in, one of the more fiddly parts. And the rest of the parts on this just go together quite well. I do think some of the parts for the armour in front can be a tad awkward to put in. One of my friends mentioned it, he's also built this kit, but I think it's more to do with the shape of the kit than it is to do with the tightness of the parts, because there's barely any flat edges. How you hold it really does affect how you push the parts in, and you don't really have the right grip to push the parts in properly, and I think some of them go in a bit weird because of that. I could be wrong, it could just be tolerances, but it did feel like I never had the right angle for some of the parts, these parts here in particular, for them to slide on. They just pop off. It's almost a shame to cover this up now. When you look at that inner frame, these side parts, they're great. You know, they've got, again, really good panel lines, way better than the high grade. These stand out phenomenally. But it always feels a shame when you cover up the inner frame of a master grade. Any of you that have built the master grade Barbatos will know what I'm talking about, where the inner frame's gorgeous, and then you put, luckily with that, you still see quite a bit of it when it's built, but with this, almost all of the inner frame is hidden. Again, rubber parts, so weird. And I think these are aluminium, these tiny little rods. This is just some electrical wire. You have to cut this into two parts, because this is an effect part for the arms, the front arms, and tie them into little knots. So when you feed them through this part, you can sort of pose them and arrange the wires properly. I do recommend using tweezers for that, it was a lot easier. And then just assemble all the bits. These wires look great. It does actually have a little bit of metal wire in there, it's just not plastic tubing. So it does pose, it holds its shape a little bit. Some of these bits are really tiny, so apologies there for going out of view. And when you start building up the front claws, the colour separation, the red wiring on those parts, these look great, these look phenomenal. The rubber bits here go into the section for the arms, and they're almost like the sort of rubber casing you get on machinery. There's the metal rod showing up as essentially one of the piston parts. And these arms look so good. It's really hard to describe it, and again, I'm not sure how much justice I'm doing in the build part of the video. Hopefully the showing off finished model part will give you a bit of a better idea how good this is. But these look so good. They are very articulated, there's lots of posability. There's an extra little mini arm that goes at the bottom there. You can fold that back like I'm doing here and just have the main claw. But they go together really smoothly. The articulation on them is great. There's pivot joints, so a lot of the parts can pivot and rotate, and it just means they're far more posable for when you finally display the kit. Here you can see me moving the parts about, the claw open and closes, that wire looks brilliant, the metal rod looks great, the panel lining is really detailed and just shows off the arm really nicely. So here I'm going to make a start on building the undercarriage. It's kind of like the part at the bottom of the ball which holds the arms. It's really straightforward. How the rubber bits connect into here, and for the arms to connect on, you'll see me doing it here. That just looks so good. Just the rubbery part there against the plastic. Now going to build the weapon. You only get one weapon in this. You will have noticed on the high grade board you get the single cannons and then the double sort of smaller guns. This you only get one single cannon. There's no options. It is literally just this big cannon. It looks great, but it would have been nice to have the option. And instead of a little stand, you get this almost sort of girder-esque, like the MS Cage unicorn I built. It's a bit of an industrial diorama-y piece, although it's a lot smaller than that cage. The rocket booster that goes on the bottom looks great as well. And just showing off a little bit of the posability here. Just posing the arms, sticking on its little stand. It looks amazing. It's hard to tell from the scale really here, but it does actually have a really good presence, especially if you put it with some high grades. This will stand out, although maybe less so with some master grade kits. Overall, what a model. Fantastic. Before we get on with the review score, just going to take a look at a couple little stats for each kit. We'll start off with the high grade ball duo. This cost me 16 quid, and it's 2 models with 4 weapon options. Comes on 6 sprues, there's no stickers. The little stands are quite nice, but there is a lack of little models, the little pilot models, which is disappointing. For the MG Ball Verkar, it's 33 quid. There's only 1 weapon option, and it does come on 6 sprues. It does come with dry decals and some stickers and those metal rods and wires. And it does have a more complex stand. Also comes with 3 minifigures, including 2 mechanics, which I didn't show. Time for the final review. So this is a fantastic little kit. You get 2 models, so it can be used as part of a bigger display, and they're really easy and fun to build. The weapon options are great, and you do get some spares if you want to change it up or use them for kit bashing. They don't stand out on their own though, because they are quite diddy, and there's a lack of detailing. I'd love some water slides for the kits, but overall, I recommended. I really do recommend these if you like the model. Finally, onto the MG Ball Verkar review. And this is one of the most fun MG builds I've done. That inner frame is just wonderful, and it is begging for some custom work. It's a pretty easy and fun build, and it's just got so much shelf presence, and it is small for an MG, but it compares very well with high grade kits. The detailing is phenomenal, and a few of those decals look brilliant. And 33 quid for a master grade is about as low as you can go. There are a couple cons. The weapon options are limited. You only get the single cannon as an option. Dry decals on curved surfaces are the work of the devil. They're so hard. In fact, I only did them on the flat surfaces. I wasn't a big fan of the stickers as well, so the stickers you see on there are actually from the master grade unicorn that comes with a cage, one of my last reviews. They look pretty good, so I just used them instead. However, even with those cons, there's only one score I can give this, and that's a must buy. I recommend looking for the water slides if you do buy one of these, rather than using the stickers. But I'd put this up with the Master Grade Barbie or the Zeta Verkar as my go-to Master Grade recommendation. It's a brilliant kit. Genuinely a must-buy Master Grade kit. I hope you enjoyed the comparison between the kits. If you did enjoy it, drop a comment, leave a like, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.